Hey Guitar Champion, what's going on? Justin Hombach here, back from my practice cave, and welcome to today's big lesson, the big lesson of the month, which is In the Name of God by Dream Theater. Here we go. Today we are going to take a look, note for note look, on the song In the Name of God by Dream Theater from their record Train of Thought. I'm really happy that my community voted for this song in this January voting, because it's a lot of fun to learn the song, to play the song and to master the song, and last but not least to teach it to you guys, which was also a lot of fun. And yeah, this song is also pretty good to train and progress some certain aspects of guitar playing, especially this instrumental madness. It's pretty good for your Phrygian dominant playing, to have all the finger shapes in your left hand, and it's especially good for the left hand. We have a lot of really weird and crazy legato playing here, which is pretty awesome, pretty sick, and it's not that easy. It was also for me quite difficult here and there, but it's doable as long as you have patience and you're working on it and you're practicing it. Alright, if you want the free tabs of this lesson, as always, you can find the tabs in the description box. There's a link where you can download them. The tabs are oriented on the Live at Budokan version. Sorry for you guys, I hadn't the time to transcribe the final solo of in the Budokan version, which is a pretty awesome solo. Maybe one day I will do this, but that was a little bit too much for me. But all the rest, there are some certain fingerings that I figured out while watching the Budokan version, but I will explain it in the lesson. If you want the chapters for this lesson, you will find them as always again in the description box or in this chapter thing down here on YouTube. And before we're starting with the lesson, let's go to our shoutout section. Yes, the shoutout section is back, the first one in 2021. Business as usual, you guys want it, you guys get it. The shoutout section, my time here on my videos to say thank you to the community, to pick 2 comments, to answer them, or to say something about them, or to thank you about them, or maybe to get angry about them, but this isn't often the case because you community are great and you're always giving me some positive comments. I really rarely have some negative comments, which is pretty awesome. But there's some people saying you only are pretty famous when you have haters, so maybe I need more haters. Alright, let's check out the first comment. So the first comment is from Nuno Ortigosa, Nuno Ortigosa, I hope I pronounced that right. And it's from my newest video, which is kind of a new series that I want to start, where I'm going to analyze some jam videos, some solos, and going to critique them, or maybe to, getting my point of view on those kind of solos. And I did one of the John Petrucci Guitar Universe Jam Part 1, the one with Rusty Cooley, Jason Richardson, Tony McAlpine, and of course John Petrucci. And Nuno Ortigosa was writing to me. He was writing cool analysis and pretty original. Like the idea and the concept, a lot of good stuff to develop here. Keep it up. Vielen Dank. Well, thank you very much. Well, vielen Dank as well. Thank you for your kind words. Glad you enjoyed it. And for everybody who haven't seen this video yet, I highly recommend everybody to check this one out. You will find it right here in the information card. Alright, thank you Nuno for those pretty cool words. Let's go to the second comment of the shoutout section. The next comment is from my Legato Master Part 1 video, Melodic Strength Improvement, and it's from Lazar Ilic. A dude from Serbia. Bro, beside being great guitar player, you are the best teacher on YouTube. Aww, thank you. We are lucky to have you. Aww, thank you. If you find the time, you can. Now this is the important part. I don't want to say all the good things about me, but if you find the time, can you do a lesson on Michelangelo Badio's No Boundaries? Sorry for my English. I'm from Serbia. That's no problem. Greetings from Germany. Your English is pretty fine. I think mine is a little bit worse. I actually learned No Boundaries to do it in October, I think, or November. There was a time where I planned to do No Boundaries from Michelangelo Badio, but last year was, as I've maybe sometimes mentioned, it was the weirdest, baddest, most fucked up year of my entire life, going through some really stressful times and mental stuff and yeah, crazy shit. But I've learned it and I'm planning to do it, and I will put it into the February voting because in a few weeks you will have again the opportunity to vote for the big lesson of February, which is this one for January, and you will have the opportunity to vote for February, and I guarantee you Michelangelo Badio's No Boundaries will be on the tier list. For sure. So much for the shoutout section. Thanks for supporting my channel. Thanks for subscribing, liking and stuff like that. And now let's start with the lesson in the name of God. Cheers. Okay, so and first the intro. The intro starts with this nice A minor 9 voicing here. First I thought John would play it more like this, which is more kind of the traditional way, but you can clearly see in Budokan that he's playing with open B string to get it a little bit more kind of open vibe, and he's doing a little bit of string skipping. So he's going from from A to D, then to B, G, E, B, and then he's going to this diminished, yeah, it's not really diminished fifths, it's more an augmented fourth in this kind of case, but the third and the fourth fret of the D and the G string. Sorry. So and then he's repeating always this A minor 9, and the second time he goes to this G and D, 5th fret D string, 3rd fret B string, then again this and this one here, and then he's going up here to the 9th fret on the D string and the 8th fret on the G string. And then he repeats it, and the second time when we're going to the G and to the D, he's pulling from the D to the B string. Then he repeats everything and is resting on this one, and then we're going to the second part of the intro, which is the heavy riff. Here we go. So, we are in the key of E Phrygian dominant, which is the 5th mode of A harmonic minor. So we have the notes E, F, G sharp, A, B, C and D. Alright, and here the first time we're going from E to E, and then we're outlining this typical Phrygian dominant, Phrygian kind of Arabic sound, with the 5th and the 8th fret on the A string. Now we're playing this line. We are playing the G sharp, A, going to the A string, B, and back to the F. And it always comes back like some sort of pedal note in this riff to this kind of section. Then we are playing this idea, which is B, C, D, and then back again. Now it turns a little bit from the rhythm. When you're trying to feel the pulse against this one, then we have more like try to headbang to this. Now the octave higher E is on the downbeat, and then we have this 5, 7, 8 back, jumping again to 8 and 7. And now on the downbeat is again the E. So far we have and now comes this idea in E Phrygian dominant. Then we're repeating all of this, and the second time we're not descending with this kind of idea, but we are playing it ascending. Sorry. I'm playing this kind of melody where we're starting with a thriller between the D and the E, 3rd frets and 5th fret on the the B string. And then we are playing descending the E Phrygian dominant scale. 5, 4, 2, 6, 3, 1. 6, 3, 2, sorry. And then we're going to the next section. The next section goes like this. And this one is the heavy power chord section. I love this. I love the groove behind this one. And we're starting in E. And then we have this chromatic run to the F, which is really typical Megadeth kind of style. 3, 2, 1, and then the 1 as power chord. Then we're going to the D, C, repeating the first riff. Having 2 muted strokes. And we're going to the B flat, the flat 5. I'm playing those inverted power chords where we have the 5th as the low note, as the bass note. In this case 5, 6, 7. I know I'm not dropped or anything here, but we're playing this power chord in reverse. When you play it normally, or when you would play it normally, then it would look like this. But this is a little bit too high. He wanted a little bit more evil kind of sounding, so he's reversing that. Okay. Then we're going to the verse. The verse starts with this bass riff, and then we're always adding those kind of little elements here. Then, when the guitar is, I would say, coming in full, then we are playing the first riff, but the second part of it. You will see right now what I mean by that. Downbeat. Sorry. Now. Damn it. We have the second part with the higher descending melody to the E, which resolves to the E. Then comes again this here. And then we are going to the pre-chorus section. And the pre-chorus section goes like this. With the piano stuff in it. Okay, and here we have first the A, then it goes to the simple the B, which leads to the, I think it comes from a kind of dominant, second dominant to the C. Then we're going to the F, playing the major 7 and the sharp 11 with the open B and the open E string. Then we're playing the G, and then we're playing this kind of melody. Here we have the 10th fret on the D string, the 12th fret on the G string, going to the 9th fret with our index finger, and back up again. Now comes the chorus. In the recording, he's playing something with open tunes as an additional guitar, and a lot of taps they are standing at the main guitar there. But live, he's just playing the chords because he needs to sing over it. When you have to check it out, he has this really high voice, the voice over James LaBrie, which is a really kind of screamy kind of voice, really, really funny to see in the Budokan version. And yeah, the chords are A, C, perfect, speaks to you. Okay, and then after the C we're going to the F, then we're going to D, and then 3rd fret on the D string, sorry, on the A string, 2nd fret on the A string, and resolving to A. So when you hear some cats meowing in the background, that are my 2 beautiful cats called Mowgli and Ingwie. Yeah, Ingwie. Ah, stop it, not now. We are going to do English sometime in this year. Alright, back to Petrucci. Then we're repeating it. Going to C, again F, and then G. Then we're going to the 7th fret, sliding to the 7th fret, doing this kind of 16-note rhythm here. And then we're going back again to A. Repeating the chorus. And then comes the third verse, which is a little bit different, and it starts with this one here. Okay, in this section we are outlining A minor, and we are now more in A natural minor kind of situation with a little bit of blue note here in between here and there, a little bit groovier, a little bit more kind of traditional metal with blue note, and not that much, this is what I want to say, not that much this Phrygian dominant kind of vibe here. So we are changing the vibe to natural minor with a little bit of the blue note in between of that. Alright, we're starting with the minor third, going to the root, the C to A. Then we have this line, where we have the 5th, 3rd, flat 5, 3rd, 3rd, 4. Repeating the first phrase, and then this. Here we have the flat 6, flat 5, 5th, minor 3rd, 2nd, flat 5. So in frets we have 6, 4, 5, row technique to the 5th fret on the G string, 4, row technique to the 4th fret on the B string. Okay, and after we are repeating this, then we are playing it in octave below, together with James singing. And now the next one's a little bit trickier. Sorry, this one. Alright, it's the same figure, just everything octave below, but because of the tuning difference between the B and the G string, we now have to change it a little bit from the fingering. And the notes are the same. You can play it like this, but you can also play it like this. Which is a little bit more, I would say, unnecessary difficult because you have to shift the index fingers a lot, so I'm going to play it like this. And then we're going to the next section. And here we have the 3rd fret on the E string, going to the open E power chord. Having this kind of shuffle feeling. It's not really a shuffle, but we have this kind of more groovy feeling. And then we're going from the 3rd fret to the low E, and then we're playing 5, 6, 7, 5, which is now in E, the 5th and the 4th, flat 5, 5th, 7. We're repeating this 4 times, and the 4th time we're playing 7, 5, 6, 5. Going to this section here, the last one of this verse. And here we are now in the F sharp minor scale, blue scale with the flat 5 again, and we have 5, 2, 2, going from the A to the F sharp, and then we have this kind of idea where we're going from the F sharp to the E, and then we're playing the flat 5 and the 4th in between, or not in between, in after each other. So 3, 2, 3, 2. This is the rhythm slow. And then by the second time we're playing 4, 2, 3, 2. We're repeating this one 2 times, and then we're again going to the chorus, I think, after that. But one part that we had so far. After again the chorus comes the bridge. The bridge goes like this. Bury the lines between fortune and then we can tell. Okay, so I stopped singing. I understand. And here we are again a little bit more on this Phrygian kind of feeling and vibe. I'm playing first the E power chord, then we're going from the D, E to the F sharp, the F, D, C, F, E. Then again from the D to the F, and then we're playing D, C, G with E in the bass. Going to the next bridge where we're starting again with the A, then comes the G, then comes the F, and then comes this melody here. And here first we are outlining a D minor, starting with the fifths, 2, 3, 5, then we're going to the B, and over the B to the G sharp, which leads us again to the chorus with the A. Okay, we're getting closer and closer to the big and final instrumental section, but before the instrumental section we have this kind of cool interlude, this weird interlude with only the bass and the keyboard, and there's this Morse code that says "eat my ass and balls." Typical Portnoy kind of humor, and he puts it in there. And if you want to know how the Morse code goes, then here's the transcription of it. Have fun with it. Now you know how to say "eat my ass and balls" in, Morse codes. Alright. And after that we're just simply playing some E's and some attacks here and there, some kicks here and there. And the next riff, which follows up, is basically our main, but with the D power chord instead of all of the kind of runs here. And then comes this kind of techno part from the keyboard, and then we have this one here. This riff here, which is basically again the same riff like before with the Phrygian dominant vibe, but this time we have a bit of a different kind of run. Playing G sharp, A, G sharp, 4, 5, 4, and then 2, 3, 5 on the A string. And now we're coming to the big instrumental section. Here we go. We are dividing this one, of course, in different chunks, in a lot of different chunks, and this will now be the next big thing here on this video. And we're starting off with the first section, which goes like this in slow. Okay, we are again in Phrygian dominant scale. We're starting off with E, D, F, E. And every time we're landing from that phrase, which is a pretty cool rhythmical phrase which repeats here with really cool motif and theme, and everybody when we land on the last note of it, we are doing this kind of little bend here to give this a little bit more of this Arabic kind of feeling. Then we're going to the A and the G sharp, which is now in this case where we are in E Phrygian dominant, the fifths and the major third. And we're going to B, A and C. And then we have this line. And here we are playing the D, going back to C, going to E. So we're going the scale ascending, but we're jumping from, or we are over jumping every second note. Going in thirds, you can say. Third, third. Which is a really typical kind of sequence for those kind of scales. But the important here is from the right hand. We have to start with an upstroke. Then first we have a little bit of inside picking, which can be a little bit weird in the beginning. But believe me, for the later sections, especially for the runs which comes after this, it's much easier. And you get used to it by practicing it. Then we have this phrase here where we're starting on the F. E, D, C, B, D, C, B, A. And we're repeating it. And now comes the first 16-note triplet run, which goes like this. We're first playing F, E, D. Here on the 10th fret, 9th fret, 7th fret. And then we're playing this one as a legato. Here we have B, A, G sharp, F, E, D, C, B, A, then G sharp, A, B, ascending. So the first 6 notes in this one are picked, and the last 12 notes are, sorry, that was sloppy, pull and hammer-ons. And then we're repeating this one 3 times with a little bit different beat from Mike going on there. And the first time and the last time we are not playing this descending line, we're playing an ascending line. And this one is played all with alternate picking. So we have, sorry. This line here. And for that we're again playing, starting with D, E, F, and then we're playing F, E, this time G, going now chromatic to the G sharp, A, B, then we're playing A, B, C, and then with a little bit of chromatical approach from the D to the E with the D sharp in between. Sorry, we are playing the E, the F, and the G just one time. Yes. Sorry? Yes, and this one is the first section. Let me play this one up to tempo for you guys. Here, before I forget, he's picking the first note every time, but I love to do this kind of more Holzian hammer from nowhere legato. It's not really Holzian because of the pull-offs, but it gives a little bit more kind of cool vibe to it, and you can do some crazy fancy hands with your left stuff with your right hand. Like a wizard or like Steve Vai. You love to do this. Alright. And then we're going to the next section, the next big Arabic section, which goes like this. Oh, and so on, so on, and we are repeating it 4 times. The cool section here is a little bit more the drums and the bass, which are playing around this Unision from between keyboard and guitar. Or is it Unision or is it in harmonization? I don't know right now. I think it's more in harmonization, but still pretty cool. And what are we playing here? From the notes, we are playing F, E, D, E, D, then going to the C, back again to E and D and E. Sorry. And then we're playing the F not with the pinky, we are playing the F with the ring finger to get the position shift. There are some tabs out there where it's outlined a little bit more like, and then we are moving horizontally, but you can see in Budokan that Petrucci is staying around the 10th position and the 12th position, and he's transforming with the ring finger here from the 10th position to the 12th position. And then comes this idea. And here we have D, D, B, C, B. Going to the G and again to the B and to the C, which is the same idea like here, but all started with the D. Then we're going from the A to the G sharp, going to the F and the G sharp again, and then we're playing this melody between the F, the E, the D, then ascending, and back again descending. And it is a little bit confusing when you're just seeing the notes. The interesting stuff here is the time meter and the rhythm section, and we're going to check this one out right now. Because here we have a 5/8 feeling, or more a 5/16 note feeling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Divided like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, but the cool thing is we can see it as 5/8, but the articulation from Portnoy here together with Myung are in a kind of more 6/16 note feeling. When we have this 5/16 note feeling, we have those 5 groupings 6 times, but you can also have a 6 grouping 5 times. Then you can count it a little bit more like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which are the articulation from the drums and the bass. But for me personally, it's a little bit easier to count it as 5. So the groupings are a little bit more easier to get and easier to divide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you can use both. We are playing this one 4 times, and then we're going to the second section of this, which goes like this. And here we first have this phrase here. I'm moving to my middle finger here to have the position shift, or to do a little bit easier the jump here from the kind of 13th fret position to here the 15th fret, or the 17th fret indeed position. Sorry. Then we're playing this one here, and this one here, where we have a little sweep from the 13th fret, the 17th fret on the E string to the 18th fret on the B string, resolving to the 17th fret of the B string. Today, me and my frets. We are playing this one again 3 times, and then we have we are starting the same way, and then we're playing just a basic 4-note phrase, 19, 16, 17, 16, then a 5-note phrase, 20, 19, 17, 19, 20, playing 22, 20, doing a little triller between 19 and 20, playing the 22nd fret on the B string, and starting to the 24th fret. Again. Now let me play those 2 sections together in tempo. Sorry. Now another tip, if you want to play this together with other band members or even with a full Dream Theater tribute band, which I highly recommend to everybody. It's so in the next level to play this one with other people together. try to stay a little bit more relaxed here. This was something where I always thought, now listening and covering it at the Budokan version, I thought, man, they are too slow here, but no, the intention of this part is to be a little bit relaxed. For myself, I'm a little bit rushed sometimes playing this part, a little bit too, want to kick off a little bit too early and too articulate. I love to play this section like... I would say outlining the rhythm with the articulation, but try to keep this one a little bit lower and a little bit with slightly dynamics, so a little bit more like. And really relaxed and nice. It's not that fast. The fast part comes now. Alright, let's start with the legato section. The first legato section, which we'll repeat twice, goes like this in slow. And then it repeats, and a little bit faster. And up to tempo. Yes, and we are repeating this one twice, so then we're playing this again. And so on. Now let's check out the frets here. We're starting off with this phrase, where we have 21, me and my friends, frets, 19, 20, 22, then we're going to 16, 17, 19, all with hammer-ons, and then we're playing this 6-note phrase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where we're starting on with the 13th fret, playing 13, 16, 17, and back again, to the B string where we're adding the 7th fret, and then we're going to here this section where we're playing 10, 12, 13, and the 13th fret on the B string. Sorry, I forgot 3 different notes, which coming before that, and there we're playing 13, 16, 17, and 12, 13, 15, 16. So it's basically the same rhythmical idea, 3, 3, 6, 3, 3, 6. Now comes a little bit more of a confusing part. And here we have first the 6-note phrase, or you can add the other 2 as well, the other 3 as well, sorry. And we're first starting with the 8th fret, 8, 10, 12, playing descending with pull-offs, going to the 12th fret on the B string, 10, 9, and going to the G string on the 10th fret. And then we're playing this line here. Here we have 9, 10, 12, descending. Then we have 10, 9 on the G string, 12 on the A string. Then we're going back to the G string. Whoops, the Justin here. I'm sorry to say that I'm wrong, totally wrong here. We are not going back to the G string. We are adding the 10th fret on the D string before going to the G string. I don't know what I was thinking here, because when I was playing it slow, middle slow and up to tempo, I never played this note, but this isn't correct. So stay in mind, or keep in mind, that we are going back, like in the tabs. In the tabs, there's a correct way. So check out the tabs, but here, sorry, I'm a bit wrong here. Yeah. Do we? Yes, I'm playing 10, 9, 10, 9, and then 12, 9, 10, 9 on the D string. And after that we're resolving to the 12th fret of the A string. And up to tempo we have this kind of idea. Then we are playing this descending line, which goes like this. First off, 11, 12, 14, going to the D string, 10, 12, 14, descending back. And then we are sliding to the next position, playing 12, 14, 15. And then we're going to the 13th fret on the G string, and here we are playing a 9-note phrase. So what I mean by that, we are playing the 6-note phrase as we know it, and then we're playing 3 additional notes, in this case 13, 14, 16, so we have, that's really typical, and then 13, 14, 16 again, going to the B string, playing 13, 15, 17, descending, and then again the 3 additional notes. Now we have again our 6-note phrase on the E string. This one here, this one here, and this one here. So we have this was a complete descending section. What I want to say here, which is really important, 2 things. One thing by this line. At first I thought it's easier to pick that line, but Petrucci is, you can see this one in not the live at Budokan, but in the live from the Systematic Chaos, the DVD. That he holds his fingers like this to mute the different strings, and then he's just moving to the next position with a slide. Which can be a little bit weird in the beginning, but with a little bit of practice you get used to it. But beware of not losing too much time on that note, because the slide alone will cost time, and you will need that time to do the next hammer-ons. Sorry. And the other thing I want to say is beware of the lazy finger. Don't rest your finger. Lift it up every time you can, because then you will have a little bit more, you can gain a little bit more speed, a lot more speed. Because when you are laying it down, of course you have another movement, but the problem is you will tension your underarm, you will tension your forearm a lot because of the strength, because of the force you give between the thumb and the index finger when you are lying it down. So lift it up every time. It's a little bit easier. Alright, then we're playing this one twice, and then comes the most annoying legato section of this song, and it goes like this. Yes, it goes on and on and on. Alright, let me divide this section into 2 parts. First into a descending section, and then into the ascending section. So we have this descending 3-note line. We're playing this one 3 times, and then the 4th time we are adding those 3 notes, which are a little bit more ascending, and we're starting in the next diatonic note under the last one, where we are, which was our destination after those 3. I could say this note here, but we're not playing this one on the E string. We're going to the B string. In this case, it's the 21st fret, and then we're picking the rest 3 notes, the additional 3 notes. And then we are again starting the sequence, but up here. And then again to the B string, starting, B string, B string, B string. Let me again play this one up to that point. Pull, 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 B pick, pull, 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 B pick. Now I shut up. Sorry, it's played one more time. This confused me a lot, this section. The tricky thing with this section here is the thumb. our endurance, and the different finger shapes and finger position. I highly recommend to get used to those finger positions to practice it position for position for position. So practice it like this, for example. Just like here, up to tempo, not too slow, so you get used to the pull-off mechanic. And I know I'm resting now my finger because we have to do the position shift a lot. And here in this case, it's actually a little bit easier for me to have the lazy finger. And yeah, and then you continue and doing just like that. And then from the next position, and the last position. And then we are playing. And then we're playing this scale run. Again. Now comes the ascending part, starting off with the 6-note phrase in the scale. And then we have our 6-note phrase, which we're knowing from here, that section. And now comes a real shitty and tricky part. Now we have to go from the triplet feeling to 60-note feeling. Yes, and we're playing those phrases, this sequence here, sorry. Up to that point, I'm going to tell a little bit more about that point here later on. But slow, this is pretty easy, or this can be pretty easy. You have to be a little bit aware of the timing. Typical hammer-on and pull-off problems, which are my problems as well still, because as you might, when you are following my channel, hammer-on and pull-offs are my weakest technique. But playing this at fast, those thrills are extremely hard, and even Petrucci is not playing it really, I would say, clean and tight and precise live. He's sometimes doing a little bit more like this here, but it's really this movement. And I recommend to train this movement fast. As I said, slow it can be pretty easy, but challenge yourself to play this one fast, up to tempo, and then go through the different position shapes and the different fingerings. One after a time, like the descending scale. Sorry. Then combine 3, then the next one, and so on. What I mean with this position here, this is my key point to know, okay, after that, after the first time we hit this typical Phrygian dominant with the big stretch between the middle finger and the pinky, this is my key point to know, okay, next comes the chromatic madness, where we are only playing this chromatical idea 3 times in a row up, and then we're going to roll down. And as you might know, we're going to play it up to the 24th fret. Yes, and this is the final legato section. Alright, after that, we're playing a beautiful A chord, it's a D chord, and then the keyboard solo, and after the keyboard solo, we're going to the guitar solo. So let's check out the guitar solo. The guitar solo was always something I was really, really terrified and afraid of because of this weird sweeping technique in there. What I mean by this, we are starting off with this idea. First of all, we are in the E Phrygian dominant scale again. And I was always afraid of this kind of sweep technique because I used to play sweeps, especially 3-string sweeps like this, with only down sweeps, the typical 60-note pattern here. This one here. And now we have to do a little bit more of the sweeping. Now we have to do up sweeps and down sweeps. And first, we're starting with the descending line, and we're We're basically outlining E major chord with some additional notes, but we're starting off here with 19, 17, 16 over the 3 strings. And then we're going down the same shape, so it's really symmetrical and more kind of shape-like instead of, yeah, I would say note-like. And the same shape but in reverse, so now we have 19 here, 17 here, 16 here. And all with sweeps. Down sweep, up sweep. Down sweep, up sweep. Petrucci is not using this technique really often, so even for me who has played a lot of Petrucci stuff, this was pretty weird and pretty new. But with a little bit of practice and with a little bit of patience, this is not any problem anymore. Well, not a big problem, at least anymore. So, now comes another weird sweep, but this one we kinda know, in a different kind of way from the Under a Glass Moon solo. It's this one here. Here in frets we have 14, 12, 14, 13, 12, 10, and the Under a Glass Moon solo, if I remember correctly, it's a bit time has passed since I've played this one the last time. It's more like... it's here, I think it's played here. No, it's here. Yes, here. Yeah. That's such a great solo. Stop it! God damn it. Going to do this later on. In the name of God. Now, we are first playing it up and down. And then, like in the typical Under Glass Moon solo, we are adding some additional Hammond and pull-offs, in this case the 12th, the 13th and the 15th fret. And then we're playing a big E major sweep, 6 string. So we have something like... This is a pretty weird to find out and to figure out because it's so fast and it's weird. Then we're playing again this sweep arpeggio here. And then we're playing a little bit more typical diminished arpeggio. Like this. And then we are playing the major third and the fifth and the fourth in octaves as those pick trills. Let me demonstrate you the diminished chords again from the tabs. Or a little bit slower at least. The beauty of diminished arpeggios are they are symmetrical. So you only have to learn one shape and then you can move it across the fretboard via just switching it through 3 frets, sorry. You see it's the same shape, just everything 3 frets below. So and then back again at. Then we have some chromatical runs. Again here on the high E string. Then we're going to the 5ths below, octave below, playing 5ths, flat 5, 4, 3, and then just playing 15, 14, 13, 12. And then the major third again here on the 16th fret on the E string and the 12th fret. Now comes some pretty typical octave playing, or octave displacement from Petrucci, which goes like this. You can play those in 2 ways. I think Petrucci is outlining everything with alternate picking, so down, up, and so on. But I more like to play it with hybrid picking. Sorry. It's a little bit easier for me because I only have down picks than with my picking, with my pick, and I use my middle finger for the upstrokes. And from the notes we have E, B, C, E, F sharp, strangely, but it's really F sharp in the Phrygian dominant kind of scale, G, and sorry, just A sharp or B flat, going to the B. And then we have the last weird sweep section, which goes like this. This one is again really symmetrical, and we have this shape of power chord fifths. Sorry. So we have actually one power chord, but we are octaving every note. And we're sweeping it down, starting here on the 14th fret, and back up again. The difficult part here is for our index and for our pinky to rest a little bit longer on the string, because we have two picks or pick stroke with those. We have the first one down, of course, but then we have a down sweep and the up sweep all with that one note. And the same here with the up sweep and down sweep. And not really the same here. Sorry, on the D string we are changing, because then of course we are changing to the next position, which is 1/2 step higher. But especially the pinky, that we focus on the pinky, that this rests a little bit longer on the E string. That's right. Then comes, this was a solo, and then comes the last Unision run, and it's again an ascending and a descending run. We're starting with the descending, which goes like this. We are again in the A minor scale, so no G sharp anymore, now it's a G, and here we are playing triplets, and the descending line, we have this kind of trill switching note feeling, where we always play two notes, first the low and then the high note, and then switching the position. Playing this 4 times, then we're going one scale position, one scale note higher, starting with the same sequence, and then again one higher, and again one higher, up to the 7th fret. Sorry again. And then we have the last ascending run, which goes like this. Here we have first 3 notes on the B string in the scale, so in this case F, G, A, then B, C, D on the E, C, D, E, E, D, E, F, then we're going back to the B string. In the same position, the same fret position, like the last note, like the last sequence from the E string, this last sequence section from the E string. So in this case, we are going to the 10th fret on the B string. Then we're going up to the E string again. Now we are here on the 13th position and going on the 13th position of the B string. Now we are on the 17th position. And ending the last Unision run. Sorry again. Here for our right hand. This time we have a little bit more of right hand action here. The complete section is really legato kind of, or legato-esque, or it's focused a little bit more on legato. And here now we have a little bit of right hand action, and we can use, of course, my favorite, all-time favorite, pick slanting. And we're starting off with upward pick slanting, and then we can keep the downward pick slanting on the E string. Upward pick slanting, upward, upward. So every time when we're going from the B to the E string, we can use upward pick slanting. It's hard to hit the fret sometimes. You should play the right notes, Justin. Use D. Yes! And this was the complete song in the name of motherfucking God. Alright. Whew, what a journey, what a journey. I hope you liked this lesson, this full lesson of In the Name of God, and I hope you liked my channel. If you liked it, then please subscribe to my channel, or consider subscribing to my channel. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, so I can shout out you in the next shout out section, and be aware for the next time when I'm going to do this kind of voting for February. But this was the lesson of the month of January. I hope I'm going to see you in the next lesson again. So far, cheers and stay progress.